So check it out, this is the brand new Insta360 X5, the camera we all have been waiting for, now with removable lenses, pure video for a low light, and a much welcoming improved sensor of 1/1.28 inch compared to the half-inch sensors on the X4. But is it good enough to upgrade, or should you just hold on tight to your X4? Let's find out. Now, I also want to add that Insta360 did send me the X5, so I want to make this my showcase video and not my initial review, and rather share how I've been using this camera in low light and daylight, as well as a motorcycle camera, to share the differences between new and old. And hopefully by sharing this in-depth comparison, you'll have a good idea of whether it's worth upgrading or not. Now, when it comes to specs between these two cameras, the X4 has a dual half-inch sensor powered by a 5nm AI chip, which was actually quite noticeable when I compared this to the X3 last year. But now with the X5, we have an optimized AI chip and also two dedicated Pro imaging chips. So basically 3 AI chips in total. And also the pure video mode taken from the Ace Pro 2 is now also in the X5. And the X5 is night and day when it comes to low light versus the X4 here. So me and Emily went for a little adventure into this pirate cave to compare both the X5 and the X4 here. So everything you're about to see is a typical real life scenario with no adjustments. The X5 using pure video in auto mode, and the X4 using the recommended 5.7K 30 FPS. So this is as raw as it gets. Have a look. Now, when it comes to image quality between these two cameras and the different modes and resolutions, we have a new active HDR option from 4K resolution to the normal 5.7K resolution. So not the 5.7K plus, but the normal 5.7K on the X5 here. And the active HDR on the X5 goes all the way up to 5.7K 60 FPS, whilst on the X4 we have a dedicated HDR mode which tops out at 5.7K 30 FPS. But when it comes to a side-by-side comparison between these two, does the videos actually look better on the X5, and which resolution should you use? So let's first start with a time-lapse. To me, both look quite similar when shooting in 11K 30 FPS, and it's only when I punch into 500% that I can see that the X4 looks more mushy, and there's also more halo effects going around the branches in the background here. I also noticed that there was less noise when zooming in on the X5, which is to be expected because it has a better sensor. Moving over to 360 videos and starting with 4K 30 FPS, to me there's not much difference between the two actually. And when it comes to 4K 100 FPS slow motion, the X4 seems to have more noise at times compared to the X5, but all in all, I think both cameras look quite similar. Now moving over to 5.7K 30 FPS, both cameras are looking really good in 5.7K. However, when I zoom in, I can see a touch more details at certain areas with the X5. If it's enough to justify an upgrade, I don't know, but at the end of this video, I think you will have the answer you're looking for. Now, the next one up is 5.7K HDR. This is where you start to see some differences. So when I zoom in here to 500%, you can see that the X5 has more details on the left side here compared to the X4, and it's also a little bit clearer. It also looks like there's more details in the clouds as well compared to the X4, which looks more washed out. And the same goes for 5.7K 60 FPS active HDR on the X5 versus 5.7K HDR mode on the X4. And lastly, we have 5.7K plus at 30 FPS on the X5 and 5.7K plus 30 FPS on the X4. And this one, I'll leave up to you guys to decide which one you prefer more. Which one do you like? Let me know in the comments below. Is it the X5 or is it the X4? And lastly, we have 8K 30 FPS on both cameras, and to me, the X5 seems to take the upper hand here on this one with slightly better details. Now, as for photos, we have the same 72 megapixel 360 photos on both cameras, and to me, there's not actually a huge difference between the two. I can only see the differences when I'm zooming in to about 300%, where the X5 looks more detailed and smooth compared to a bit more noise on the X4 if you look at my jacket. As for regular photos in single lens mode, here's a few taken with both cameras. This is 4K 60 FPS on both cameras here. So we have the X4 here, we have the X5 here. The settings are the same on both cameras. Which one looks better in single lens mode 4K 60 FPS? Is it the X5 or is it the X4? Let me know in the comments below. And now holding the cameras a little bit closer to me, about 50 centimeters away, which is about an arm's reach. And which one looks better now? Is it the X4 or is it the X5? And also the audio is set to default on both cameras. Which one sounds better? Is it the X5 or is it the X4? And for those of you that does motovlogging, this is the audio coming from the DJI Mic Mini when it's connected via Bluetooth to the X5. And the Mic Mini is sitting inside my helmet right here, and this is by far the most convenient and comfortable microphone to use when you put it inside your helmet. And that also means I don't have to have any wires or anything. It's so small, so I can barely notice that it's there at all, which is amazing. So this is again the audio coming from the Mic Mini connected to the X5 via Bluetooth. There's also a new improved battery now, so we have 2400 mAh battery versus 2290 mAh on the X4, which gives us a longer record time in all shooting modes. I also did a test here to see how much of a difference this actually was in terms of recording 8K 30 FPS here in the studio. The X4 overheated at around 15 minutes every single time I did a test, but it's still impressive given that it's recording in 8K 30 FPS. However, the X5 didn't overheat a single time due to the new design and the better heat dissipation, and managed to record a video for 1 hour and 30 minutes continuous recording before the battery ran out. When it comes to charging your batteries, we also have a new fast charging system now, which takes the batteries from 0 to 80% in just 20 minutes. So if you're looking for a 360 camera that has impressive low light videos, as well as a long lasting battery, and a camera that can record 1 hour and 30 minutes of continuous non-splitted video files in 8K 30 FPS, then the X5 is definitely worth testing out. Another new thing with the X5 here is that we now have the quick release system built straight into the base of the camera here, along with the quarter range mounting option. And this makes it so much easier to just mount in different places, and you're not limited to which direction you mount it if you're using these quick release plates here. So I can mount it this way, and I can also mount it this way. But if you already have some of these mounts, maybe coming from the Ace Pro or the Ace Pro 2, then it's definitely a much easier and more convenient way of mounting and securing the X5, especially if you ride a motorcycle and you already have a few of these. But if you don't have a few of these, then I'll leave a link to them down in the description below, so you can grab some of these with your X5. Now, the biggest upgrade of them all, I think, is the new improved lenses, the new improved removable lenses, I would say. So if you damage your lens, which obviously is the most important part of a 360 camera, because with a broken lens, it's basically useless. And this has been a problem for many years. Either you take the risk and you use it without the lens guard, and if you drop it, it will be destroyed and you have to send it back to repair and wait a couple of weeks. Or you can go with the either of the lens guards, basically the standard or the premium lens guard, which adds an additional layer of glass or plastic, but that also makes the image quality look a little bit worse. So what we have now is this replacement kit for the X5. So one box comes with one lens for one side of the camera. So if you need to replace both of the lenses here, you need to get two of these kits here. So inside here, you'll have everything you need in order to change these lenses. And it also comes with a guide on how you change the lenses, but I'm gonna go through a quick demonstration here now so you can see how easy this actually is. We have some cleaning wipes and some lens cloth here, which you can use on the lens after you changed it. We also have the blower here, and this is the tool that you use to unscrew and to fasten the lens. And we also have this little guy here, which you use to flip up the lens and then remove it. And we also have a little brush here in case you need that to just take off some dust after you have been using the blower. And you also get the new lens here. So that's what this looks like. So what we're going to do now is to just take it off and then just put it back on, because I'm going to save this one for later. And the process is really simple. So what you do is to take this tool here and push it against the lens here that you want to remove, and you will feel that it locks in place. And now it's all about twisting, and once it's loose, you just unscrew the lens just like this, or the cap around the lens, just like that. So now you can see the cap is on the tool here. So if we put this down, I can take this one and just lift the lens up just like that. And now we have the lens. So now if you have a damaged lens, you can take the new one and you can just use the suction cup, which is included on it, just like that, and just put it back into place. But like I said, I'm gonna keep this for later. So I'm just gonna put this back into the box here because I have something planned for the future. And now you can just take the new lens, put back into position here, take the same tool, hold it over the lens and just screw it back on, just like that. So now you have a brand new lens on your Insta360 X5 replaced in just about a minute. Now, when it comes to the new features on the X5, there's three features in particular that stands out, and the first one is called Twist to Shoot. All right, so to enable the twist and shoot here, we're gonna swipe down on the screen. So swiping down and then one time to the left, and you can see Twist to Shoot on the top right corner here. So when we enable that, basically you just rotate the selfie stick with the camera from 45 to 100 degrees. So basically doing this 2 times. So 1, 2, and it will now do a countdown, 3 seconds, then take the photo. So we can actually do this with the video as well. So I'm just gonna make sure that you see that I'm not recording right now, and I'm gonna hold it like that, and 1 and 2, and it should start recording. Let's see. Yep, it's recording. And to turn it off, it's basically the same. So 1, 2, and let's see, stop recording. I really didn't think it was possible to make it even easier to capture these 360 videos. It's hands down impressive. Now, the next feature is pure video. So when we select the camera icon on the bottom here, you'll see all the different shooting modes. We have a video mode, photo, interval, star lapse, road mode or dash cam, loop record, bullet time, time shift, and time lapse, the new Instaframe, and the pure video mode, which is a dedicated low light mode. So for low light videos, we have 4K, 5.7K, and 8K resolution in 24, 25, and 30 FPS. What I really like with this is that I'm still able to change my custom settings like color profile, exposure value, and white balance. So I'm not limited to auto mode, which we typically are with other action cameras. So when we swipe to the left here, you can still change the color profile, exposure value, white balance, and the exposure balance, which is really nice if you want to set a specific look or have a fixed temperature to prevent the camera's white balance from changing as you record your video and move around. And this will also make the image look better, more consistent, and overall more appealing to the eye. But more on that in a different video. Now, the next feature is Instaframe. This is something brand new and is basically a feature that captures both a normal flat video and a 360 video at the same time, which you can edit in the Insta360 mobile app or the Studio app later. So when we select Instaframe, we have a few options on the screen here, a 360-degree spin, or the other option is barrel roll. Below that, we also have the different shooting modes, so custom view and selfie view. So let's take a look at the custom view first. When we select this, we get 5 different perspectives. So mine was actually set to custom view because that was the one that I used previously, but you can also change this to a fixed perspective. So bottom view, top view, front view, or rear view. So when you select either of these options, the angles will actually stay the same throughout the video, as well as capturing a 360 file that you can edit later. Now, let's say you do a motovlog, for example. I now have the perspective set to the front view, so it's recording a flat video of me as a rider, but it also captures a 360 video, which I can go back and edit in post later. So basically a 2-in-1 shooting mode, and basically a 360 video and a single lens mode combined in one of the same mode, which is pretty convenient if you want to take the easy route and just, you know, press one button and capture both types of videos. But let's say you don't have a motorcycle or a bike and you just want to use this camera for walks and hikes, and you want to capture a 360 video, but you also want to capture a normal flat video for social media of the location you're at. Before, you would either have to edit that 360 video and export it as a vertical video for then to upload it to social media, or capture a 360 video of the location first and then change over to the single lens mode if you wanted that quick and easy flat video, and whatever was in between the changes there would be a potential loss of footage. But now with Instaframe, you can capture both at the same time, and you can also go back and preview both the flat video and the 360 video in camera when you're done filming. Another cool thing as well, just a nice little touch, is that when you go from the normal front view or back view, rear view, top view, down view, the light here is blue. But as soon as you go to selfie mode, it turns green. So that gives you an indication whether or not you're using the selfie view or not. So now we've changed to selfie view. You should be able to see the green box around my head there. So now using a selfie view, this is what that looks like, and this will automatically track you no matter where you move, as long as you stay in front of the same lens here. So if I move over here, it should follow me, and I should still be in frame. Yeah, in frame. And I can move back to the other side, and yeah, keeps on following me, which is pretty interesting, pretty nice. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the subject tracking on the Action 5 Pro. However, this is recording that flat video in 1080p. But I also want to say, for the best possible image quality, I would suggest recording 8K 30 FPS in the 360 video mode and then change over to single lens mode after if you want to have the best possible image quality, because Instaframe is limited to 5.7K plus 360 videos and 1080p flat videos. However, these flat videos in 1080p doesn't really look that bad, do they? But it's definitely more convenient to shoot videos this way if you want the best of both worlds. So in terms of the differences between the X4 and the X5 and whether it's worth upgrading or not, I'm gonna leave that completely up to you, but I do hope that this comparison could help you decide based on your preferences, shooting style, and needs. And as for normal using daylight, you might not see a huge difference between these, and it's only when the sun starts getting low that you will experience less noise in the X5 when using the normal 360 video mode with the different resolutions. And for golden hours during sunset and sunrise, the X5 has that pure video mode, which makes a huge difference for what you'll be able to capture in terms of actual usable footage. And if I left it out, the only difference in resolution between these two cameras is that the X5 here has 5.7K HDR up to 60 FPS. Other than that, both cameras have 8K and 5.7K plus in 30 FPS, as well as the same resolution and frame rates in single lens mode, as well as the same photo options. So the biggest difference between these two are the better sensor on the X5, a dedicated low light mode, some new features that will make it much easier to capture these 360 videos and also the normal videos, and of course the option to replace your broken lens no matter where you are, which is pretty sick. So there you have the X5 versus the X4. Which one would you get as your first 360 camera? And if you already have the X4 here, is it enough of an upgrade on the X5 to make you switch over to the X5 or not? Let me know in the comments below. And also, you'll find all the links to everything shown in this video down in the description for the convenience. And if you found any value in today's video, let me know by dropping a like and hit that subscribe button. And also stay tuned for what's coming. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.